I just was remembering where I wanted to start. Okay, so I redid this live and I know where I want to start now, so here we go. So I want to explain some things. I'm gonna get some scriptures. I'm gonna share my experience, my history, and try to bring everything together. So here we go. And this information can also be used for different positions in people's lives and situations they're going through. So I have in the past learned about prophecies and deja vu. Now I want to start right there. So deja vu, I found out, is actually when you've seen something in the past, whether it's in a dream, you're daydreaming, a vision, or um, well, I already said dream, and later on in life, you're witnessing it coming to pass right before your eyes. You're living in it, and it's happening. And the only being that I know of that can bring prophecies about or to pass is the Most High, the true God. So I learned to call it when the Most High is bringing something to pass. It's a prophecy that you've seen before and it comes to pass. And the prophecy is being fulfilled. Now, I've had this happen a number of times. What I've also learned is no matter what you do differently in reality when it's happening, you can't change it. The outcome, you can't. So it's not like the butterfly effect. But let's keep going. So since I learned to understand more about prophecies, some time passed and I learned that when I was working or just doing things, a lot of times I would notice these things. And then I remember it was certain situations I was in jobs where the Most High would tell me when to leave. And I knew for a fact that He gave me jobs. So He is the one that gives me jobs. He's the one that tells me when to leave. And I learned to listen. And so here we go. So I'll just tell you my experience. So it was some time ago during the pandemic when it first started, about in March for us. And around that time, in February 2020, I had just got my SUV. I just got my license around that time. And I'm a new driver. I wasn't a person that was very experienced on the road. And I was working two jobs around that time. And I was trying to move out, trying to get an apartment. Nobody would accept me. Well, mostly nobody. Um, at least at the time. And then like later on down the road, I get the job working for Instacart, and it was during the pandemic in March. And I'm doing three jobs. I'm doing Instacart part time, so I'm doing two part time jobs and one full time. And I was seeing how much money I can make on Instacart, and I calculated it. And when I calculated I would be making, I was actually incorrect. I'll be making double that. I didn't know that at the time, but that was the blessing Most High gave me. But that was when I started working full time. So what happened was I had I was waiting for a sign or a notification or some information from the Most High when I could leave these other two jobs and just go work for Instacart full time. And it was this lady named Jennifer. That's her name. Yeah, I remember. I remember talking about this. And she was out with the injury, and she was out for 2 months or maybe three. Nobody heard from her, not even the manager, so they didn't know when she was coming back or if she was. And about a month and a half before she came back, I had one or two dreams about her, the same exact dreams. Um, it was probably just one though, and the clothes she had on, the colors that she had on, I remembered that too. And where she was, like the line she came back to, and everything about the dream, I remembered in detail. And she was back on the job, she was back to work in the dream. And I remembered that. So I'm like, okay, so I had the vision. That's the vision. That's the dream. All I was waiting for, now I had a thought, maybe this is going to come to pass. I'm waiting for this prophecy to be fulfilled. If this comes to pass, then I might get my notification that I can leave after this. So I contacted the Most High. I prayed. That's one thing you got to do when you're in situations. It could be about a relationship, a marriage. You might be led to get out, to move out, to divorce, and I mean, it's a number of ways that God communicates with you, whether it's through dreams, through people, through scriptures. It's a lot of stuff that He can do through voice, but pay attention and learn to understand when He's communicating with you, and then take all these signs and have faith and trust in Him, and communicate with Him by prayer and maybe by fasting, and try to get His attention so He can answer you, and then listen to what He say, have faith, and do it. So then, after I was waiting for the notification to leave, because I wanted to leave both my jobs. So I had put in my 2 weeks notice for my part-time job a week before, and then I was notified 2 weeks before I left my full-time job, which just the one I was waiting on the prophecy to happen, that my this lady named Jennifer was coming back to the job, which was the one who was injured, who had the injury, and she was the one I seen in my dream. So I was like, okay, so it's confirmation. It's no longer a maybe this is gonna come to pass. It was facts. So I was just waiting for that. Hey, Julian. So I also contacted the Most High and I asked, can I leave after this prophecy is fulfilled? I somehow notified him and let him know, because I wanted to leave, but I knew I couldn't just leave the job until the prophecy was fulfilled. But he let me know, yeah, you can go after that. And the way I was notified was by a positive feeling on the inside, like you feel increased in spirit, you feel no doubt, no negativity, no reason to worry. Everything is good. Just go, trust in the Most High, have faith. You're making the right decision. If you get that feeling after you contact the Most High, go forward, keep going. So that's what I was doing, but I was just waiting for this prophecy to happen. So when she came back, it was on like a Friday maybe. She had on the exact same clothing as she did in the dream. Gray top, black jeans, well, black, pants, a gray like thing around her head, and she went to the same exact spot that she was in the dream. She was on line number 3, I think they call it, or 1, or she was on 1. And I mean, everything just matched in the dream. And I told her about the dream, and I told my manager about the dream. I put in my 2 weeks notice probably that same day. And I was out of there 2 weeks later. And this was during the pandemic when it was really, really getting started. And people I knew at the time that I was talking to that's believers also, they was like, are you sure? I know one sister, she was like, you sure? You sure you should quit your 2 jobs? She didn't think it was a good idea. Well, she wasn't sure that was a good idea. But I'm telling her, like, look, the prophecy's been fulfilled. I have nothing to worry about. I contacted the Most High. This is the right move for me. I had faith. I didn't doubt. I had no worries. And so this other sister I know, she was in her mind. She revealed to me today that she was like, I don't know if you're making the right decision, but I went, quit both my jobs, and then I just worked Instacart full time. Now, the money I thought that I would be making before I quit my other 2 jobs that I calculated was incorrect. I did make that amount of money, but I made double that amount of money. And I was surprised because I didn't expect that. So it was not only that I was blessed by leaving my 2 jobs to work a job where I'm driving and I'm not around these employees anymore and all this crazy stuff, and I can actually make enough money to move out. I was blessed even more than I expected. So it was like it's probably a scripture in there where it talks about if you have faith in the Most High, you'll be blessed. It might not say it that way, but I'm sure it's things that would indicate that. Because I know it's a scripture in there that says if you trust in Him, you won't be confounded, you won't be confused, and that makes sense. I was not confused. So it was blessings that led up after that, and it's still a lot of blessings. But that's how it went for me. And I just wanted to put this out there so people who going through things, matter of fact, Julian, perfect, you. Yeah, this is definitely for you. Okay, so this can be for marriages, this can be for other situations where you need a way out. Trust in the Most High. Just try to always program yourself to trust in Him, have faith, and if you're trying to like get an apartment or a vehicle or a, I gotta go back and listen to the other thing. Okay, if you're trying to do something, you gotta trust in the Most High. You gotta contact the Most High and have faith and don't doubt and go after it. And it's scriptures that go along with this. Let's get some scriptures in here. Let's see. I just had one in my mind. It says you have not because you ask not. Let's see. That one just came to my mind. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Confirmation. Okay. You have not because you ask not. Verse. You have James 4:2. Okay. I thought it was James. I just didn't know what chapter and verse. At least I'll, you know, close. Okay, James. Jude, James. Here we go. James 4:2-3. Okay, so it says, I'll just read from verse 1. Why not? Okay, it says, from whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lusts, that war in your members? You lust. Now, lust can be another way of saying you want or desire. So think of it like that. You desire and have not. And what says you kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. And it says you fight in war, yet you have not, or you have nothing, because not can also be nothing. And then it says, because you ask not. So that's the reason that people don't have it, because you don't ask. And then it goes on to say, you ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lusts or desires. Other translations might say a little different. They might say, you ask. When you ask with the wrong motives. So make sure when you asking, don't ask for like greedy purposes. Like if you married to somebody and that person is doing everything they can to please you and doing the most righteous things, they just, everything's perfect, right? And you asking for another wife. Don't do that. Even if you do that, that's not gonna get answered. So it's like stuff like that. Like you got 5 Lamborghinis and that ain't none of them scratched or dented or like, total. Don't ask for another Lamborghini. Like just, or don't ask for a Bentley or don't. Well, I'm gonna stick to Lamborghini. Like don't ask for another one. Like just unnecessary. Like you got to do stuff that you need, that you want, that can help you better yourself or somebody else. Like example, I asked for this apartment before I got it because I couldn't keep a Sabbath day anymore. I couldn't take a day off for 132 days. I was always working. I always had to do something to stay away from the stress and the people I was around, the noise, the drama, the everything. I always had to be out trying to find peace. So I wanted this place also for peace, for healing, to get some rest. My reasons wasn't bad. So when you ask with the right motives and don't just stop there. Go after it. You gotta ask and then go after it. So let's get a scripture that tells you that. I'm keeping up with you, Julie. I'm trying to. How you doing, by the way? How is everybody? Because whoever watches this after this is going live, y'all can answer if you want. So this is in Matthew 7. We're going to verse 7-8. I never forget about these scriptures. So it says, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in chapter 6. My bad. Okay, chapter 7. And it says, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open to you. For everyone that asks, receive, and he that seek, find, And to him that knock, it shall be open. So this ain't saying that if you're a woman or a man or Pacific sex that you can't ask and seek. It's saying in general for anybody. If you ask and apply the right motives, you ask with the right motives. And if you do everything proper when you're asking, I mean, and you follow the Most High, you trust in Him, you're doing everything right. After that, you got to seek it. You got to go after what you're asking for. If you ask for a car, job, a house, a divorce, or whatever, you got to go after it. So just put some time into seeking what you're asking for, too. I'm doing good, no complaints. Battling but not feeling defeated like I have been feeling. Okay, good, good. Yeah, I don't feel like that. Um, so just remember that too. And that also goes with relationships too. Don't think because you're a woman you can't go seek a husband or a boyfriend. Should be a boyfriend first, or just a guy first. But anyway, let's keep going. So keep that one in mind. Ask and then go seek it. And let's see what else can we throw in here. Oh, let's get this. There was another one I had in mind too about prayer, that you gotta pray and have faith and don't doubt. But I'll leave that one for y'all to look up. How about that? So I'll go to another one. Which one was I thinking about? Oh wait, this one's good. I gotta get this one. I don't even need to find it in the book. I know it by heart. It's Amos 3:3. This one says, let me move this out the way. Okay. It says Amos 3:3 is can two walk together except they be agreed? Question mark. You can think about it. The answer is no. And if you can't walk together, it's not going to be very long that you're walking together, because you're going to end up separating because you can't agree. And we got to do the same with the Most High. If the Most High is believing and thinking that you can have this path out of your situation and you don't, y'all can't walk together when it comes to that, because he believes and you don't. And that's just how it is. You gotta walk with the Most High. It might be difficult sometimes, but you still gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's beneficial if you do it. And if you don't do it, it might be a situation that happens to you like Jonah. Jonah was told to do something, but he tried to run. He tried to get out of that. That didn't go good. It didn't go good. So it might not be exactly that, but it's gonna be something. So, and then Jonah had to pray. He had to pray and contact the Most High to get him out of that. Nobody else can get him out. So, and then he ended up doing what the Most High wanted him to do anyway. So, all right, let's see what else. It was another one I was gonna get. Oh yeah, Proverbs 3:5. I already know this one. Okay, so this is where the trusting scripture comes in. Very popular. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. And I try to do this often. The word program comes to mind. We just gotta program ourselves better, and just program yourself to trust in the Most High. Program yourself when you're going somewhere or finna do something that the Most High is gonna be with you and y'all gonna do it together. That's how I do it sometimes, and that helps me out. When I got my license, I had that thought. I had that mindset. When I do other things, I have that thought. It's good to do, and I can't get the scripture where I got it from because it's in the book of Enoch, or well, it might not be in there. It's in some book I read where it's a hidden book, and I just can't think of where. But it was saying that Abel, before he was killed, that's how he went about life. He did things thinking that everything he did, the Most High was with him. And to me, that was a good way to be. That was an unforgettable scripture, and I used it to my benefit. So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's other scriptures that talk about trusting in the Most High. We got Psalm 62:8 and verse. Oh, wait. We got Sirach 11:21 and Sirach chapter 2:6. Oh man, that's a good one too. I'm looking at another one. Okay. So let me make sure I got everything in here because I don't want to leave nothing out. um, is there anything else that I need to say? Oh, let me just say this, make this clear. So I was looking before I got this apartment. I don't know if I can say before I got the car, the SUV. That was somewhat freedom a little bit, but I was looking for a few things before I got some of these things. I was looking to get a place of my own so I could keep the Sabbath, get rest, heal, uh, get peace, if I didn't say that. Study the scriptures more again. I couldn't even read sometimes where I was. Like it was just too noisy, too chaotic, too many distractions. I couldn't even pray in peace sometimes. Um, it was a lot of things going on over there. I was in a very bad state or position, and I was looking for a way out, and I was looking for transportation as things I needed it for. So I got transportation. It was a lot of steps I had to take. I had to get my credit, and the way I got it might not have been the way or be the way that everybody gets it, but I got it. And the thing is, I didn't expect to get it this way. I didn't expect to finance a car. I didn't expect to, to get it, to put a down payment on it from my credit card. I never expected that. I was planning to come out of my own pocket. But during the process of getting one, everything changes. When you're trying to do something, you might have a thought, I want this car, I want that house, I want this, or that job. But when you start going for it, things change. Like I didn't think I'd be working the job I work. I never thought I'd be driving for a living. I never thought I was like an expert or good enough driver to even do it. But let's go back. I'm going too far. So anyway, I was looking to get a car, and some people told me, well, somebody told me you should get your credit right because that's how you can get a BMW because I wanted a BMW X5 or X3. But so I started working on my credit. Started getting credit cards. I had collections on my credit report. I had two, and I owed them too. I owed them like maybe 500 or 700 somewhere around there in total. So it wasn't looking good for me. I was in the 500s, but I just applied for credit cards, and I went to anybody who would give me one. I applied for Walmart. I got all the papers where they turned me down. I still got them for a certain reason. So if I had to prove to people, I've been turned down more times than I've been accepted, but I succeeded. My success wasn't in the amount of times I was rejected. The success was getting over 11 credit cards. The success was getting my credit score in the 700s. The success was then getting an SUV or a car. It wasn't a BMW X5, but it was still an SUV. The plans changed as I was going in the direction to get these things. My jobs changed. Things changed. I was blessed a number of times in between, but things changed. And I'm glad I didn't get a BMW X5 for the first car because look what I'm doing. I'm driving for a living. I'm going to the country. I'm tearing up the car. But I'm glad I didn't get it for the first car. I mean, the things it's going through. But then this apartment, like I had to humble myself to just accept certain things for now. Like this apartment, I didn't want an apartment. I wanted a house, but I couldn't get a house. It wasn't happening fast enough, and an apartment was easier. So when I was starting to go on that process or that route, I just had to take what I can get, and this is what but it's still good. It was some things I had to do, but I got it. So this wasn't the route or the path I thought I'd be taking, but it was beneficial, and I'm glad I took it. So job wise, or just whatever y'all going through a situation, it might be different. It might be another path for you that you might not think you got to go on, but that's the path the Most High is going to take you down, and it's going to be beneficial for you. You're going to enjoy it. You might have some difficult times, but you should enjoy it, especially if you're walking in the path He got for you. I think you should enjoy it. So that's how. I think that's how you should look at it, and that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, you just don't know where the Most High is gonna take you. I'll tell y'all this. I probably never told some of y'all this. In my past, when I was 18, I'm 34. I'm still a musician, but I was a musician. I was a bad musician, and I don't mean like a good, skillful musician. I mean like bad, like the stuff that I would say. But um, I was. I'm not bragging. I don't mean for y'all to take it this way. I'm just being honest. But the proof is in my songs. If you ever listen to my history, one day most I will not be able to present some of it. But I could have gotten signed to a record label. But when I'm what I'm trying to say is I can't even get this stuff out. The most important thing to me when I was 18 was music. Not God, not my son, not it was music. But things changed. I put God first later on and gave up music. That's another story. But I thought I'd be signed making music, rich by now. I thought I would have a different life. I thought I was gonna be a hoe, to be honest with you. I thought I would be sleeping with a bunch of women and having a different life. That's the life I thought I was gonna be living. That ain't what I'm doing though. And I'm glad I changed that up or was able to because I found out later on I would have sold my soul. It would have been hard for me to get out of that without dying or killing people. But that's another topic. But anyway, um, let me drink on this one. Do I got? Ain't nothing even in there anymore. Those were just my thoughts back then. When I was 27, I was like, if I get signed, I'm gonna. At that point, I was like, I'm gonna probably have to kill some people because they're gonna try to kill me because I'm not gonna be a rapper who be on the dark side and not try to do right. I'm like, nah, y'all gonna have to kill me or I'm gonna kill y'all because I'm not with the Illuminati. I was going away from it. But anyway, that's before I got that's before I started taking my walk serious with the boss. That sounded worldly, but that's where I was at one point. So I thought I was gonna be doing something else. My dreams when I was a kid was to be a football player, an actor, maybe a movie star, and a rapper. That was my fourth one, and I was a rapper before all the others. I'm still funny, but I'm not a comedian. I don't get paid for it. But I didn't get to do all those things. Like it just don't happen like that. What I'm doing now, I'm driving for a living. I'm an independent contractor, but it's just something I never foresaw. Y'all might have thought y'all would be doing something else. You might have tried to do something else. But that ain't what God got planned for you. He might have you do it in another way. Like I can still do music now, but I'm gonna do music in another way. Football's out the question, most likely. Uh, Movie star, I don't know. But it just might be a different path than you thought it was gonna be, or than you expected. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. And we don't know the future, but yeah, we just gotta go for it and see what happens, see what the Most High allows us to do. I'll also throw this in here that you should pray. Excuse me, if you're trying to like do something successful and be successful at it, and ask the Most High to allow you to be successful at it. Like if you're trying to get a business started, or if you got something simple as this. When I started my group on Facebook, I prayed that the Most High allowed it to be successful, and He did. I've had that group for years now. It's got over 5,000 people in it, and I'm able to, send them spiritual food every now and then. That's decent, but He allowed it to succeed though. I prayed about my YouTube channel being a success. He allowed that to succeed. So I will just throw that out there for advice, and that might be it. I thought it was gonna be more scriptures, but whatever scriptures came to y'all mind, you can post them in the comments or just um, think about them and go to them. There's a lot more scriptures to get on this. Having faith, trusting in God, and He'll give you a way out. You can even think about other people in the scriptures that trusted in the Most High and He got them out of it. It's a guy named Ebed Malich who the Most High saved because he helped out Jeremiah. Not a lot of people talk about him, but where is? Let me see. I done talked for a while, y'all. Oh, I passed. It's so sad. Rubbing the eyes. Time to go. Time to wrap it up. Oh yeah, it's about time. Let's see. Ezekiel, Jeremiah. Here we go. Here we go. I think it's chapter 39, maybe verse 8. I'm 7. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, Jeremiah 38. 7. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Now, when Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, one of the eunuchs, which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed-Melech went forth out of the king's house and spake to the king, saying, My lord, the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon, and he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. Then the king commanded Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, Take from hence 30 men with you, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die. So Ebed-Melech took the men with him, and went into the house of the king under the treasury, and took thence old cast cloths and old rotten rags, I think, and let them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. And Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian said to Jeremiah, Put now these old cast cloths and rotten rags under your arm holes, under the cords. And Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with cords and took him up out of the dungeon. And Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. Then Zedekiah, the king. Okay, wait a minute. Where's the part that says? Then Jeremiah said, Oh snap, y'all! That was chapter 38. I'm sorry. Here we go, chapter 39. But that's good. That's good. I'm glad I read that. So here we go, chapter 39. Let's see. What does it talk about? Ebed-Melech. And it came to pass. There it is. It's around verse 14. So I'm going to start at 15. It says, Now the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, Go and speak to Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil and not for good, and they shall be accomplished in that day before you. But I will deliver you in that day, saith the Lord, and you shall not be given into the hand of the men of whom you are afraid. For I will surely deliver you, and you shall not fall by the sword, but your life shall be for a prey to you, because you have put your trust in me, saith the Lord. Bam, right there. So I'm gonna leave off that, y'all. But trusting in the Most High works. It always does. All right. Peace be to the saints. I hope that helps somebody. All right.